folks. I want to welcome you to a morning message. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach, and I have the privilege of having a being with me by the name of Alan Watts. And it's very fascinating. I just want to go right into this. He wanted to talk about the spark of life. That he said the spark of life is everywhere, but you cannot find it anywhere outside of yourself, but you can observe its phenomena all around you. He said it's simple to develop your abilities to identify this spark with your breathing. And this is one of the reasons I came to this one today, so that I could explain to you how simply you could get in touch with that spark inside you. It was during his workout when he was on the machines and he was running a great distance, and I stepped in and I told him to breathe very deeply and slowly instead of quickly. He would find he would have more energy. And so I had him breathe deeply, and he did. He breathed deeply to the fullness of his lungs. And when he reached that point where his lungs were so full, I said, breathe a little bit more in. And he did. And he experienced the spark. And it is very true. I have experienced the spark. And it's, you're walking down the street and you can hear birds and cars and things going on around you, but nothing gets your attention until it gets your attention, until something grabs your attention, right? You won't notice it's there. So here I am running around on the treadmill, and he says, take that extra bit of breath, and I did, right to that point. And there's a point, right between the top of your heart and the middle of your brain, when your breath is brought in a little bit more. Breathe, fill your lungs completely, and you breathe your breath in that slight bit more, and then feel. This is where he got me. He said, feel what happens between there and here, between your head and your heart. And I did. What was really fascinating for me is when I did that breath, all of a sudden, not only did I feel like I was getting more oxygen, I had more energy. I suddenly, because I measure my pulse when I'm running, and my heart rate dropped down to a low. I had up to 157 beats a minute, which is my high range for running. And it dropped down to 42 when I started breathing the way he suggested. He says, it is very easy to do. All you need to do is pay close attention. But if you're not paying attention, you will not know that it's there. And it's very simple. You breathe only through the nose, in through the nose, until you feel that spark, that connection between the head and the heart. And it is at that point you breathe out through the nose, and then in through the nose. And the reason you do this is because you're providing the brain with additional oxygen on the exhale, that which does not get consumed by the lungs, so that you're actually oxygenating your brain even more, because oxygen passes through the brain barrier at the backs of the sinuses. So it's important, if you're going to be doing strenuous exercises, that you understand that you need more energy, and not just water energy, not just food energy, but you need life energy. And this spark that is here at the top of the breath, that is the life. That is your life. It is the life that gives you your life. And if you could suspend your observation of it and become it for but a moment, you'd be in absolute bliss. And you could lose yourself in that, as this one did. He ran much farther than he normally would run. Isn't that amazing? And it is. It was really amazing to experience that. To have that sensation where all of a sudden I could keep going. I mean, I could have literally just kept going and going and going. That spark. When he explains it to me, and it really is like we're walking down the street and we see trees and cars. Nothing gets our attention until it gets our attention. Maybe a bird flies right in front of us and suddenly we see that, oh, it's a blue jay. It's like that. Until something gets your attention, you don't know it's there. He says, all of you are seeking that spark of life, you're too busy seeking it out in the world that you won't notice it inside yourself until you stop and look inside. He says it's not very difficult. It's very simple. Breathe. And it's not just breathing air in and out of your body. It's breathing to feel the life that your body gets when you are filled. When you are filled. So it's very fascinating. You know, when I have like I said, his energy is just so playful and yet very centered and grounded. Mischievous. I get that really strong energy from him. He says, yes, I am very mischievous. He likes to play very subtle games of humor with people. But it's interesting, as even now, in speaking, I can feel that breath that he speaks of is very important. You can, he's saying a lot of addictions can be cured with this breath. A lot of bad habits can be cured with this breath. He says, many of you are seeking fulfillment in things outside of yourself, and yet the thing that will really fulfill you is within you. And if you were to touch it long enough, you'd fall in love with it. And if you are in love, well, you are in love. You don't need something else if you are in love, because you have love. I'm understanding that to mean that, so what you want to do is literally like close your mouth and breathe in through your nose when you got a desire. And he's laughing right now. He says he could have quit smoking or any of those things. He just enjoyed the pleasure of them. Because that is another thing. If you're going to enjoy the pleasure of a thing, then enjoy the pleasure of a thing. But if the pleasure of a thing begins to be detrimental to you, then it's no longer pleasurable. Don't do it anymore. So how to apply that to addictions? And he's saying to apply that to addictions when you have an urge for a cigarette or an urge for caffeine or an urge for processed sugars. He says, use the breath, close your mouth, breathe in through your nose, and literally all the way up, like fill that lung up. And he says, pay attention. He says, very important you pay attention, because if you don't pay attention, you'll miss it. So that when your breath gets to that highest point, you take that little bit, that last little hit, like there's a feeling, a sensation that happens between the head and the heart. It's like a line. It's like an electrical connection is made between the. He's saying it's not the head, like your physical head. He's saying your soul, your awareness, your spirit. You make a connection directly to that with your breath, because your breath comes from the spirit. And when you deliberately use your breath to connect to the spirit, you are fulfilled. And when you are fulfilled, you have no need to pursue anything outside of yourself. But you have the desire then from within to express certain things. And that is another discovery. For in your pursuit of the things outside of yourself, you miss the very thing you came here to be and to do. So I came for this short time today merely to give you the understanding that you do not have to seek outside of yourself that which is within yourself, but you must notice it. You must pay attention to it. Otherwise, you'll never see it. It's not going to just show up for the sake of showing up. You have to look for it, just the same as you have to look for an apple in the grocery store, or you have to look for the friend on the street corner you're supposed to meet. You must have an idea of what you're looking for. But this is very simple. When you have those desires that no longer serve you, those things that keep you seeking outside of yourself, that keep you unfulfilled, constantly searching, hoping to find fulfillment, turn inward then to this breath. And when you feel that spark, that life that flows down into you, when you consciously, deliberately connect to it, stay there. Breathe with it for a while. Get into a relationship with yourself. Not your physical self. Your spiritual being. The you that came here to express through the form in which you find yourself. This is why you came here, to express this through here. Not to satisfy these physical senses. There's no wrong in that. But if the satisfaction of the senses diminishes your creative capabilities to express that which you came here to be, then you're wasting your time. And you did not come here to waste your time, although some of you may have, or find yourself wasting time and wishing you weren't. It is important to connect to that spark. Some of you will feel it right away. Some of you won't. But it is there. It is always there. At the top of your breath, between your head and your heart, there's a connection that happens. You want to reconnect. And in that connection, you will find the satisfaction that you're seeking. And there'll be even greater satisfaction, for that is without limit. That self is without limit. And when you begin to connect to it, ideas begin to come down into your mind, into your body. Maybe the desire to paint, or to walk, or to run, or to play, or to sing, or to dance comes down to articulate yourself through this world, through this mechanism to this world. But without that connection, you cannot know this. Do not waste your time running out to connect to yourself in the world. It's not out there. It is within you. So it is interesting to note that things can come in the most unusual of ways when you least expect it. Be ready for when you start to feel that connection between your heart and your head. It's electrical. Then you'll begin to find liberation from those things out there. For what greater joy can there be than the light of your own light shining upon you, delighting you with its love, its breath, its endlessness. It awaits for you to see it, to recognize it. And I've already used the example, if you're walking down the street, you will notice only what you notice if it gets your attention. So today I bring this to your attention in hopes that you will see it. And when you have a desire for those things that do not serve you, go back to your connections, go back to the bliss inside you. And then you'll find liberation. Then you'll find freedom. Freedom to be who you are. You do not have freedom acquiring things and stuff. That does not give you freedom. That gives you more responsibility. But in a funny sort of way, there is no freedom without responsibility. But if responsibility is coming from need and not from a natural innate desire to express that which you came here to express, well, then you've got things backwards. I could spend all afternoon with this being, and there are some beings that are like that. It's amazing what is available to us, what we have at our disposal within us and around us. I mean, we only see 1% of the visual light spectrum. We only hear 1% of the auditory spectrum. And we got this incredible instrument of consciousness that allows us to perceive beyond it. Learn to see without your eyes and hear without your ears and feel without your physical sensations. There is a limitless universe available to all of us right here, right now. And the joy that I got from my communication with Alan today is there are no limits as long as you're connected to your source. You get tired, you get exhausted, you get fatigued when you are disconnected. And disconnected to me means we think, feel, say, and do things that don't keep us hooked up to that, but keep us searching out there to try and find that. That's what everybody's doing, right? Most people are running around the world trying to find love out there, to find their joy out there, to find it out there in the drug, in the pill, in the other person, rather than realizing it is within us. It is within us. Apply that breath. It'll just knock your socks off. It blows my mind, even now. Anyway, I also want to say, because there's only a few days left, we are running our second set of mediumship courses, Mediumship 101 course beginning February the 22nd. You can go to my website, WilliamMichaelForbes.com. This is an amazing course designed to bring you to the place where you can tap into these beings as easily as you can naturally. Everybody can do this once you understand the process. So I invite you, go to my website, WilliamMichaelForbesCoaching.com. It's more than just learning how to tap into these different frequencies. We also deal with issues of health, vitality, meditation, getting you plugged back into your own source and your own purpose, understanding who and what you are, how to change and transform your life from the state it's into something what you'd rather have it be, something that's in harmony with who you really are or who you aspire to be. Because you get to decide who you want to be. You can be anybody you want to be if you choose to, but you have to know how to choose and how to become it. Anyway, we have great mediums. We have a team of 7 mediums in the course. I'm one of them. Norma Jones, Elena, Lorraine, Joe Goldsmith, Phil May Gray, Gillian Maiden. They're amazing people that have taken this course and they've learned to communicate to their guides and their angels. And we have a step-by-step process that will walk you through a process that'll take you to a higher truth within yourself. Anyway, I want to thank, I keep wanting to say Master Watts. He just laughs. He said, there's only one master. Thank him for his presence today, for his message. Do the breath, and come out and take these courses. They'll transform your life. You can check out the testimonials on my webpage, my website. But please, it's only $199. It's a 3-week long intensive course with 7 mediums over that 3 weeks, and you're going to get the care and guidance that you need to open up these channels to higher levels of consciousness. So come join us. Don't waste any time. Your life is too important to wonder whether or not you're going to find fulfillment. When you can create fulfillment, you just have to have the right tools, the right know-how, and the right guidance. So much love to everybody. Thank you for stopping by for the morning message, and I will see you again soon. Much love.